Okay, and with that, the next person on our list is Sarah. No.
Well, that's Jim.
Oh, Sarah Mason.
Yeah!
All right.
The other half of that.
Okay, then I guess moving on, next person is Jerry.
Well, wake up, Pops.
Yeah. Ask him if you need.
I got nothing anyway. I got nothing.
6 pages of nothing.
I got nothing. I tell you what though, I'm inspired by It's Bob's piece, and I'm going to read this awful poem called
It's so bad.
Bonfile Space, the Final Frontier. Lately, I've become obsessed with the term middle-aged. I can't with certainty even say what it is or why I should be obsessed with such an ill-defined term. Definitively, I suppose it is the period between young age and old age. But that doesn't really define it, at least not to me. How about post-menopausal vagina atrophy? You buy that? You ever try to teach English to a foreigner? I bet you're scared of this one too. The futility of my latest obsession stuns even me. It is not middle age that I'm obsessed with. That's only the canvas. My obsession is with sex, or lack of sex, absence of sex. I'm scared to death of becoming asexual. One thing I love more than anything is pussy. I think that pussy is the best thing on the planet. It's not an endangered species. There are no groups of people marching in parades with signs, like with the whales, with signs reading "Save the Pussy." Pussy is better than hope, money, wisdom, or a drink. It is the single most thing offered in such a variety. There's black pussy, white pussy, Asian pussy. There's wife pussy, mistress pussy, co-ed pussy. There's well-used pussy, well-known pussy. I can't say what kind of pussy is best, but I've had some pretty choice pussy in my time. My young friend, he's 19, says, "There ain't no pussy like downtown pussy, you know that." I asked him why, and he said, "Because downtown pussy fucks back. You ain't gotta tell them whole shit." He goes on to say that uptown pussy ain't shit either. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. My obsession with MAP, middle-aged pussy, has welcomed the return of an old friend from my youth, masturbation. This, I think, completes the cycle. More madness, more memory, more misery, more masturbation. I'm imagining mobile adult bookstores with specimen jars right inside the booths and donor bonuses like at the blood banks. Is this a great idea or what? Maybe I'm just obsessed with my obsessions, but I don't think so. Let's proceed. Follow me. I am lonely. Very lonely. I can't remember anymore if I used drugs because I was lonely or I was lonely because I used drugs. I won't ask what you think, I know. I now have a cellular telephone, my pocket-sized New Testament. I asked a guy at Bible study about the Old Testament, and he told me he didn't know anything about the Old Testament, but that it wasn't important anyway. Just read the New. That sounded like claptrap. Dribble from a man who could only extrapolate on wife pussy. But I accepted, because now I'm thinking all this wonderful pussy has contributed to my misery, to my obsession. So now I call God day or night on my cellular phone. When I get low and run out of stuff, I can just turn the page and get another blast. One dope man and one dope. Still, I am unhappy. Last night, my wet dream was interrupted by a Star Trek nightmare. I woke up sweating, I think, and trying to fight off a horribly ugly monster coming out of the mouth of the Admiral. The monster's pincers were coming, yes, coming, out of the Admiral's mouth and at me. And I didn't hesitate. I whipped out my enormous weapon and shot it, sending the thing to every corner of the room, into a million mercurial pieces. The biggest part, the entity, took off screaming like a banshee, tearing a huge hole into the hull of my ship. For a moment, I thought I would be sucked off into space with it. I'm imagining what a monstrous nut being sucked off by explosive decompression would be. But nothing happened. It was several hours before I could sleep again. When you're dreaming, the concept of feeling comes into your mind generally. Then the brain generates an appropriate kaleidoscope of visual imagery. I was feeling, not with my hands, but with my heart. How awful it is that you can never stop feeling. Come and laugh with me. I am a child of God who thought it wonderful to be a clown without feelings. Feelings the clown. Last night, after the dream sequence, I met Livia, my dream woman, for coffee. We talked a while and laughed at my foolishness, and then we went home. And this middle-aged pussy thing phenomena would continue for many years, Earth years. Still, as soon as we were inside the door to my flat, we started fucking like buddies. Sweet sex. So I was thinking about, last night I went out to the survey thing and for counting the homeless people, and I had the occasion to see a guy that I knew back in 2003 who was a part of this next poem. This is from Tracy Jo Buck, who meant it when she said she'd die for a hit. Whenever I get maudlin or have thoughts about dying, my own death, I get scared. And I'm sure that when I do go, I'm gonna cry out or yell at the top of my lungs like I'm falling off of a tall building like this. Ah! But I know you couldn't cry out, Tracy. Couldn't cry. I knew it because of the smoke and the rush from the drug had created blood clots and had already collapsed your lungs. All the time thinking that since your heart hadn't blown up, you were still okay. Did you know? Did you feel safe? What was it like when the umbilical-like respirator claimed your life's functions? Could they even find a vein for the IV? And were you still high? And did you know in your heart that you were dying? First thing I did when I found out was pray. Not for you, Tracy, because for you, finally, there is peace. This is a prayer poem for all the tortured addicts who thought you'd feel better once you got a wake up. They told me so. And anybody else who contributed to your nooner and nightcap. What an awful way to die with no lifeline. Your friends were not your friends, and your house always smelled of urine and used, overwhelmed cat litter. None of the men in your life ever bathed, and the seats of their pants were shiny and stank, and all the women wore dirty jeans and wrinkled dresses, and their stockings were mostly rolled around their ankles. I remember you telling me, nobody bothers anymore. I mean, it's so diffuse being alive. Suddenly you begin to realize that nobody really gives a damn. So, you killed yourself. No, not suicide, because you were already dead. The day-to-day mission impossibles had sucked your life's blood through needled straws, and you fell in love. So I want you to know that all the days, weeks, months since your passing have done nothing to ease my troubled mind. That and because I know this is a poem too late for you. You were that person with 24 hours or less, and while this made you the most important person in any room, you and all those motherfuckers inside of you, those demon-like creatures, it just couldn't save your life. Tracy, I know God was glad to see you coming. I know he outfitted you with wings and a halo and made an angel out of you right away, because you were so special. Not even your inside-out madness, sadness could diminish your brilliance. I'll think of you often, Tracy. I'll think about you and talk about you and love you and mourn you because you were my friend. And I was always so proud to have you as a friend. And I would have given anything that I would not more willingly part with all except my life. Except my life.